And now it's time for part 2 of my June updated bookcase tour, and I'm so excited to do this part. So without further ado, let's just get going and have a great time. The first few are Hunger Games books. Yes, even more Hunger Games books. I love it so much. I just collect all different covers that I see. Do I really need to mention that they're by Suzanne Collins? We have the Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Mockingjay, like you'll all be aware of. They're excellent, fabulous books, which you all must check out if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, you must be some sort of like robot kind of cross-alien kind of thing. I really don't know anyone that hasn't actually read them yet, so, you know. Then I have a really little book which is called Fahrenheit 451, and it's by Ray Bradbury. That is a classic book, and it's really good actually. Very interesting read. It's quite scary in the sense that it's about burning books. You know, Fahrenheit 451 is the temperature at which booked paper catches fire, and then it burns. And it's just quite a scary thought really to read about books actually burning. It's such a great read actually. It really does question you a lot. It's really good. Then I have Eon Rise of the Dragon Eye by Alison Goodman, and I haven't read that yet, but I think it'll be really good actually. It's a YA book. I've heard so many good things about it, and it just sounds so much fun. It sounds very, in a way it sounds a bit emotional really. I think the main character is actually disabled, which is quite different for a main character, so it does sound very sad. Not like you'd be sort of crying or anything, but it just sounds sort of like you'd sympathise for the characters. Then I have 2 Percy Jackson books, and I've got Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, both by Rick Riordan. Haven't read them yet, but they look very easy, quick reads, so hopefully sometime in summer I'll be able to check them out. Then if I just move along a little bit more, place my tripod on the floor, I have some David Clement Davis books. I've firstly got The Sight and Fell. Fell is a sequel to The Sight, and The Sight is about wolves, and Fell is about wolves as well. I love wolves as animals, but I love really any animals. Any animal books just work for me so well. I just love them so much. As you can maybe tell, I have a lot of animal books on my shelf, and you'll be seeing more as well in the future. Actually, I'd really want to show you that Sight cover because it's really beautiful actually. I just think it's one of the best covers I have on my shelf. It just looks beautiful. So that is the cover. Just look at them wolf's eyes staring at you so close. It's just amazing. Tell me what you think about that actually. And then we have another David Clement Davis book, which I believe is a standalone book, and that is Firebringer. I think that one's actually about deers, and that sounds really interesting. I know quite a lot about deers actually. Quite a lot of deers actually visit my backfield, or they used to, and I sort of researched into deers and found out a bit more about them, and it was just so great to see them, and you know, to read a book about them will be really good, I'm sure. Then the final 3 books are all dark fantasy reads, and I have Eragon Elderson Brasinga, all by Christopher Paolini. There is a 4th book which I haven't got yet. I'm waiting until it comes out in paperback. It's called Inheritance. I have read them and really enjoyed them. I don't think the best they could potentially be. I do think they can be a bit better, simply because I think the writing could be improved a bit, and just odd kind of minor improvements, but he did write them when he was really young. He wrote Eragon when he was actually 15. They're really good considering that. And then in this first pile I have Skywolves by Livy Mitchell, and I've read that and I actually really did enjoy that. I thought it was a very interesting quick read. It's a children's book, so obviously a lot of children's books are very quick reads. Then I have Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, and I really enjoyed that. This is one that's also called The Golden Compass in some places, which I think is quite annoying really, because sometimes I know some people have actually complained they've actually picked up both of them, not realising they're actually the same book. I think that's really bad publishing to have the same book with 2 different names. I just think it's quite stupid really, quite pointless. Then I have Watership Down by Richard Adams, and that is a really good book. It's quite a thick book actually, but it's such a great book. Again, that is an animal book, as you can already guess and see, and it's just great. I love stuff like that. Then at the bottom I have Wolf's Angel by M.D. Lachlan, and that is the only book on this pile which I haven't actually read, but I'll definitely get round to read it soon. I know, soon. I always say soon, but I mean it within the next year or 2. I really want to read it basically, but I just don't have time, you know. Blame school. If you want all these reviews, school is in the way, so you can blame them. Then on this next pile I have Tunnels by Gordon and Williams right at the top. It sounds quite a scary, dark read really, so maybe I could read that in October, a bit like Lord Lost by Darren Shan. Then I have The Power of 5 books by Anthony Horowitz. I don't even know if I've got them all or not actually. I'm guessing there's 5 considering it's called The Power of 5, but I've no idea. But I have Ravensgate, Evil Star and Night Rise. Haven't read them. They're very battered because they're all from charity shops, but you know, I can't wait to get round to reading them. Quite a lot of people have said to me they're really good books, so I'm sure I'll enjoy them. So this next shelf can officially be called the Rainbow Colourful Shelf. It has so many colours on it. Basically my idea behind this was to have a very dark shelf ahead and then have a real colourful shelf, which is just so nice to look at. I really like a contrast and stuff like that. I think it looks really nice and colourful. You know, that's just why I put the colourful lighter reads on this shelf. So if we start at the top, I have firstly some books in the Cherub series by Robert Muchamore. I've got The Recruit, Class A and Maximum Security. I believe there's around 12 books in that series actually, which is just so many really. That is loads. So I can't wait to read them, but I haven't actually started reading them yet, so I should probably see what I think of them before buying any more. And then I have some books in the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, and apparently this is really good. So when something is apparently really good, I just like to go in and out with the lenses, as you found out in part 1. And basically it just sounds so much fun. It sounds a very interesting concept and idea, and the books are called The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and Monsters of Men. I must actually read them soon. I'm probably going to read them July kind of time or something. I really do want to read them really soon after all my school exams. Then I have I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Law, and I actually did enjoy that one. I didn't enjoy the second book, which is called The Power of Six, which you saw earlier on my shelf tour, which was right at the top. But I actually did enjoy I Am Number 4, so I thought, you know, that was an interesting, fun read. Then I have Wilderness by Roddy Doyle, and that is a very quick read, a very fun read. You know, I just read it easily in under a day, and it was just so much fun. I really did enjoy that one. Then I have The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. Oh my gosh, I hate to say it, I do not like this book. I hate to say it because everyone loves it, and it's like I'm some sort of robot alien really, because how don't I like this book when everyone else seems to like it? No one else seems to really dislike it. I just thought it was so boring and I hated it really. I mean, I understand why people like it, but I just didn't think it was that good. I'm not sure why it has all the hype and praise. It's really not as good and it doesn't live up to my expectations. But maybe I just have so high expectations for things that are really hyped up. I really have no idea. Then I have Holes by Lewis Satcher, and I really enjoyed that. I think it's a very fun read, very interesting read, a very short read as well. Moving on to this next section, at the top I have Warhorse by Michael Morpurgo, and I recently read this and reviewed it I think in April or something, and it was such a fun read. Actually, it's just recently been turned into a film as well. I haven't actually seen that film, but it does sound really good. I should probably see it, or maybe get it on DVD when it comes out or something. I love the story behind it really. I thought it was so amazing. Then I have Lion Boy by Zizu Korda, and yes, another animal book. 2 animal books right there actually. And I haven't read this. I got this from a charity shop last year, but I definitely want to read it at some point. It's about animals. What else can I say? Then I have Steve Fierce's Changeling and Changeling Dark Moon, and these are quite dark books actually. I'm really going to sense a dark month coming on in October actually. I think I'm just going to pick some really dark books and do like a dark themed month or something. Sounds kind of fun to do that. Maybe I should try it out actually. If you have any other dark recommendations, definitely tell me. Then I have Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, and that is a really good book actually. I also downloaded it for free on my Kindle, but I do have it in paperback form as well. Then I have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and a lot of people like this book, and I definitely want to check it out actually, see what I think of it. Some people actually asked me to review it at school, and I was like, well, I haven't read it yet, and it's not on my to-read list for the near future, but when I do get around to it, I'll definitely do a review, because it sounds like quite an interesting book. A lot of people talk about it, a lot of people enjoy it, so, you know, hopefully I'll enjoy it as well. And then I have some Chronicles of Ancient Darkness books by Michelle Paver. I actually think these look really nice on my camera actually. They really pick up a nice colour, and they're really good actually. I've read them all, but I need to reread them. I'm actually gonna buy the last book in that series and then reread them. I'm just looking for the correct cover, because they brought some new covers out which I don't actually like. When I have a series, I like my covers to all match. So once I find that cover, maybe get it on Amazon or something actually, I'll be able to reread them and do a series review. So there are Wolf Brother, Spirit Walker, Soul Eater, Outcast, and Oathbreaker. And this next section is certainly very shiny, very colourful, lots of oranges and blues and yellows. It looks kind of nice. So the first one is Invisible City by M.G. Harris, and this actually has a neon kind of cover which is slipped over a white cover, and it's such a great idea actually. I think it's really cool to actually have that, and I may as well just show you that. I think it's really nice actually. So here it is, and you just slip it out like that, and it has a beautiful white cover. I think that is such a unique selling point. It definitely sort of drags people into buying the books. It's really fun. I just can't wait to read that really. Then I have some books by Sophie Mackenzie, and these are all part of the Medusa project. I firstly have The Setup, then The Hostage, The Rescue, and Hunted, and I'm sure they'll be really good. I can't wait to read them. I've actually read the first one, which is called The Setup, and I enjoyed that. And then next to that I have Give a Dog a Home, How to Make Your Rescue Dog a Happy Dog by Graham Sims, and that is a really interesting read. I really did enjoy that. I read that I think probably towards the middle half of last year, and I did find it very interesting actually. It really had a great story behind it, and definitely want to check out for all those animal fans like myself. Then we have Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk. Quite a lot of people have read her books, and I've read them as well, and they're really good. Very nice ideas. The plot and the characters and everything is really good. The writing's great, so definitely a book for all. Then this really little book right here, which you can hardly see, is called The Secret Passage, and it's by Nina Borden. I got that quite a while ago and I was quite young actually. I think it was like, I'm not sure if it was a World Book Day book or something. I think I actually got it in the post for some reason. I don't know what it was to celebrate, but probably to sort of encourage children's reading. But I remember really enjoying that when I read it. Right, my bookmark box is actually in the way right now, so I'm just going to have to move it. There's got beautiful bookmarks in there. Look at Katniss Everdeen's face. Oh my gosh. But now you want to actually see the books, so, you know, I had to move that. I did a bookmark video quite a while ago, though, so if you want to check that out, definitely, you know, have a look for that. So moving on, I have The London Eye Mystery by Siobhan Dowd, and I think I got this in my first year of high school in year 7, actually, as sort of like a free book. I think they was giving away a free book, and I chose to get this one, and it was really, really good. It wasn't outstanding or anything, it was quite an average read, but definitely, you know, a nice kind of quick read. Then I have probably the thinnest book on this shelf, and that is Hachiko Waits by Leslie Newman. I love that story so much. I saw the film actually before reading the book, and the book is really, really short, but it has such a great emotional story behind it. It's about this Japanese Akita dog who waits at the train station every day, even though his owner's died, and it's so hard to sum up in such a short space of time, but it is honestly one of the best stories ever. And then is my sort of language area. Obviously, I love language. I love learning languages. I just think it's so fun to explore cultures and learn about different traditions and things, and that is why I have lots of different dictionaries and thesauruses and stuff. So the first one is Spanish dictionary and grammar, then I have a French verbs, then I have an English thesaurus, then I have a French dictionary, and then right up there I have a little mini school dictionary and thesaurus, and then a Collins dictionary, which is English. And this bottom shelf is just some sort of random DVDs and games and stuff. I'm not actually going to go through them. As you can see, there's quite a lot of them, and they're not books, and this is actually a bookcase tour, as you already know, so let's not go through all them. If you really want to know them, just ask me, but they're not really that interesting, to be honest. And then here I actually have another shelf, but it's kind of blocked by my piano, unfortunately, so we won't be able to see it in great detail, but it doesn't really matter because the books in here are not very good anyway. Sort of random ones that I've just put up here, but let's have a look a bit closer. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm now holding the camera. So they're just a load of hardback books, sort of non-fiction kind of things, which I don't even like, so basically they're up there because I'm not really going to use them. I might look at a few like How Things Work and Guinness World Records, things like that, but apart from that, they're not really that good. And then there's loads of sort of revision guides and some more non-fiction textbooks right there, kind of boring. There's no point going through them, you know, they're so boring. We don't want to know about school. No, we do not. Then here is actually a shelf where I have some ornaments, actually. Let's kind of zoom in if we can. Sorry, it's very dark. There's a New Zealand ornament right there, and then there's actually a little stone kind of thing right there, and then an otter ornament as well, which I actually really like. Can you see that? I'm not sure if you can, but it's there. And then some DVDs and random books, which I'm not actually going to go through, but you know, they're there. It's very, very dark now because my piano's blocking the way, but basically there's a little elephant statue and then some random children's books, which I used to read when I was younger. Not really that interesting. I don't think there's any point going through them really, because I don't think any of you lot are going to be really reading stuff like that are designed for 5-year-olds. And that is it. Finally, I have finished doing my bookcase tours. I'm so thrilled to finish them, because bookcase tours do take quite a while to film and then edit afterwards as well. So when you finish just filming, it's just great. Obviously I have so much editing to do right now, but oh, I'm so excited. I hope you all enjoyed the bookcase tours. Don't forget to tell me what you think in the comments below, in the comments of the first part and this second part, and I'll see you all again in another video.